Well, Nairobi is all about the What Women Want Annual Summit 2.0. Or, man, if you're a woman, you'd have no idea about this summit. And I don't know what you are doing in Nairobi. Let's just say we're not trying to guilt trip you, but we're simply saying that this is where all the women are. And you know why? I'm going to be telling you that in about a minute or thereabout. Allow me to introduce the guests that I have on set. It's a great pleasure to speak to them. I've been looking for them at personal levels, but I can tell you that is a story for another day. Right next to me is none other than Janet Bugwa, author, advocate, founder of the Inua Dada Foundation. I'm almost tempted to say journalist. But yes, I'll keep that for another day. As well as Pinky Gelani, who's the CEO of Pinky Media and equally the brain behind the summit that we are all gracing at this very point. Almost tempted to say journalist, but I won't say it all the same. So here we are, ladies. Thank you so much for allowing yourselves time to speak to us.
Thank you.
All right, say jumbo to TV47 viewers at least. A bit of anchoring, not just yet.
Oh, right. And I think
Do we remember?
Do we remember?
It may come easier.
I thought they said that once a soldier, always.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think when she said journalist, former journalist, I'm like, once you've done it,
Yeah.
it kind of never leaves
It's
you.
just in the blood.
It's in the blood.
Yeah.
So day one of the summit, who remembers of the C's that we have picked? At least 2-3 of the C's that we have picked. Those ones that are supposed to be part of your board, personal board.
There was a lot.
There was confidence.
Yes.
Change maker, which was my favorite because I like how she said, it's you.
Yeah.
And I think there was a comforter.
Comforter.
At least have a counselor, a coach. I have picked something. They're about 9, but we actually just want to get people understanding what this summit is all about. And I mean, now we are at day 2 of it, and of course looking forward to the last day, which is always the cream de la cream. What do we culminate to tomorrow?
So we will have a period party by Janet Bugwa.
Period party.
Yes, a period party. That's how we're going to start our Sunday. For those of you who are interested in starting your Sunday like that, we have more conversations as we've been having over the last 2 days. So there's conversations with MP Shah, there's AI and women. There's a series of conversations, just as the theme has been for the last 2 days. And then we sort of have our plenary speakers. That's Charlene Ruto, Amina Mohammed, Ambassador Amina Mohammed. And then another 2 speakers who will also guest speak. I'm sorry, I'm so flustered. There's like so much in the head.
We can understand. It's been a whole time. I mean, I had Janet mentioning that you are a whole powerhouse. You know.
She's a one-woman army.
You know of her.
But
then we go into a fashion show, which is probably what I'm looking most forward to because I'm not going to be working then, right? And I love supporting Kenyan fashion. I'm wearing Namyak right now, and it's all going to be made in Kenya fashion, from the jewelry to the shoes to the clothes. How fun!
All right, period party. This locks out our men, or what? What's it about?
I think it's a way to demystify menstrual health. Period parties are a lot more popular outside. They're becoming more popular slowly by slowly here, but the whole idea is to use it as a tool to break the stigma on menstrual health, to also we'll be integrating things like access to menstrual products, but we just want to give people that experience where you can talk about periods, it can be interesting. The reason it doesn't lock out men is because one of the panelists is actually a man. He's the programs manager of Inua Dada Foundation.
Yeah, we met.
Yes,
So cool.
He's such a cool person. So yeah, and I think that's what I love about the What Women Want Summit. What Pinky has done is kind of invited all these industries, thought leaders, platforms to come together. And I feel like 3 days later, pouring in and taking in all of the different conversations almost gives you just this re-energized outlook on life. So everything from a fashion show to a period party to AI to health, agriculture, it's such a wide spectrum of issues. And at the end of the day, that's how holistic we are as women, as people.
That's a typical woman.
That's a typical.
I mean, I know I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Congratulations to the both of you, equally for what it is that you're doing for the girls out there. So 2024, and I don't want us to go back to where all this started. I'm sure we're going to have some other time to discuss it, some other, in another session. But then again, 2023, 2024, just how much of a difference would you say these two have been? Or are, because you're still on lead.
I mean, It was the initial, and I think I said it in my opening statement, that it was definitely a calling. It was something that was being pushed to do, and I think, Janet, I've told you this.
Yeah.
Like every day for December 2022, I would wake up with this thing of like, do this. And then when I sat with my team, they were like, hey, what?
That's a big one, you know?
No, they kept saying, are you moderating every conversation? I said, I can't. We're bringing people together. It's going to be people doing their own things there. And last year was on a smaller scale, so I can say slightly easier. We had 80 speakers though, and that was the first for East Africa.
Somewhere around
140 cities.
Almost double.
Double,
Yeah.
yes.
And why? Because one, there is a need for it. Two, what Janet said earlier off camera to me, she says women are pouring into themselves, which I think is so valid and something we need to recognize. So it's not just the summit that you'll see women at. You will see there'll be more women events. There's space for it. So I think it's great to see more empowerment, more education, more impact when it comes to women. There's spaces for it. And it's just amazing when people like Janet Bugwa back something like the What Women Want Summit in the capacity Janet has.
Oh, thank you. No.
A moment for that, you know. Yo, man, there's a lot of emotion in this space. I'll not even lie to you. But the emotion comes with so much. I am telling you, I'm getting out of this space bigger and better. The imposter syndrome is one thing that I'm taking. What did we call him? Her? We're about to drop them, like, I don't know. But here we are. Janet was one of the speakers, and you should have listened to her. We have this thing online, by the way?
We have it recorded. It's not online as yet.
That's why you need to attend some of these spaces, because then you tend to miss out on so much. But well, here we are. So Janet, we look at what women want. Just how unique is this statement to an individual? Because then it gets you thought-provoking. It gets you thinking, by the way.
Yeah. What do women want? I love that. I feel like it's such a conversation starter, even the title, What Women Want. And even the last few days when I'm speaking to friends or they're commenting, and they say, if it's a male friend, he's like, what do women really want? Friends are asking each other, what do women want? Right. I feel like in many ways we know what we want, but because there haven't been spaces that allow us to lean into what we want, what we deserve, then you can almost like cut yourself short. Because women know, we know what we want, right? We just need maybe the tools to go for it. We maybe just need the support to go after it. Because we do want, the list is endless, but I think at the end of the day, there were such amazing speakers today. They talked about wanting either financial stability, wanting to be able to lead, bringing other women with them, and not excluding men. They talked about being able to, from everything from be at peace to, it's a whole scope of things, but at the end of the day, I think what women want is to be accepted and to be able to also go for what they want and not have to be pigeonholed. Because I think for a long time, Pinky and I, having been in media and been in the space for quite some time, we can speak to the fact that there's a lot that we had to almost break through to do what we had to do, you know what I mean, in terms of pioneering in certain spaces. And now to be able to be here, for Pinky to be able to see to life a summit like this is a testament to going for what she wants. Wow. And to be able to have tapped into what she's been able to do.
I'll tell you for free, it still does not make sense up to date why you people had to exit the space of media. But now when I get to see the two of you doing what it is that you do, but then again, you see, you always have this thing, I want to see them after that. These are stories of success. So when you say this, you almost feel like, well, was quite a good deal actually stepping out, and there's much more out there. So you look at what women want, and it could just be what women want. It's another step to go for what it is that you want. What do you envision that the impact of this summit then will do to the women?
Well, like I was saying before, when I was getting my makeup done this morning, the lady who did my makeup, she says, I have a feeling this summit will change people's lives. And this is when I was going through a moment of, are people going to come? What's it going to, I was really doubting myself at that moment, and I was praying. So it was like I was spoken to by something, it was a message. That's what I feel. And that was the idea behind What Women Want. Initially, when I started What Women Want, it was a small in-mall conversation. Someone reached out to me from a mall and said, can you do a conversation with your media background and talk to women between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. and call it Desperate Housewives and talk about fashion and beauty. And I was like, offended. I was like, wait, we're not Desperate Housewives, first of all. We don't only want to talk about fashion and beauty. We're deeper than that. So I said, can I come back to you with a counter? And I sat with that and I was like, actually, I'd love to have conversations about things that have affected me. It came from a very selfish, and personal. Because I've gone through miscarriages, I've gone through issues with friendships, I've gone through toxic bosses, I've gone through, money issues. And I've always seemed to find a way to come out of it through my networks. And I was like, how many women know about these people? Like, do they know that you can do wound therapy? So you don't necessarily only have to go for therapy. You can do wound therapy, or you can have classes to make you learn about how to make money. We're not taught this stuff in school. Do more people know about this? And that's where it came from. So I started tapping into my network. Will you come and talk at my space? And that's when I saw there is definitely a need for it.
All right, and of course that need is slowly being answered. What happens to, because now you've started something that is big, what happens to the woman who's down there at the rural place? What's going to happen to the woman who's at the international scene if we're going to talk about what women want as an annual summit?
So when it comes to grassroots, I mean, this is why we engage all partners, someone like Inua Dada, for example, who are making an impact.
And is in Kakamega, yeah? That's a good one. That's a really good one,
look
yeah.
at what Janet's doing. So this is where, again, where it's, and I think Patricia Murakami said it well, where she was like, girls compete, women collaborate. I really love that. And that's where it's like, it's not Pinky's Summit. It's the What Women Want Summit that includes all these amazing people. And it's recognizing and even in a way celebrating what each of these people are doing. It's allowing them a platform to come together, to network, to showcase what they're doing. So whether you're impacting grassroots or international, there's a possibility through this. Yeah.
We have not talked about mental health. We have not talked about much about. It's all there. It's all there. No, I'm saying here. So we haven't talked about mental health. I mean, femicide cases and all that. This summit, in relation to that, or basically the programs that we run here and there, are they beyond lip service?
I feel like Pinky's opening, I remember she actually touched on different, she talked, I think it was a really beautiful what she said, because you also brought in the issues that affect women. She did touch on femicide and a few, but I think, we are, if I can speak for maybe Pinky and a few of our other peers, actually a lot of people are already doing what they can to amplify the message, to be part of the conversation, to be part of the solution. And we can't separate issues. As women, we come with there's many parts of us, there's many issues that happen to women, there's many experiences that women go through. So the summit doesn't exclude that. It kind of almost invites a wide array of opinions and thoughts and almost like solutions driven at helping the woman in totality, even the women who are going through so much, whether it's issues to do with gender-based violence, whether it's issues to do with menstrual injustice. We are all those women. We carry them with us even when we're in these rooms. And I feel like summits like this have speakers who touch on so many different touch points of the experience of a woman. But I know she talked about it and was recognizing the fact that we can never forget the experiences of the different diverse experiences of women. Well, women are still not safe in a very large way. When you ask what women want, a lot of the time we just want safe spaces to be able to achieve our goals, right? Safe spaces belong to everyone, men, children, but the experiences of women when it comes to their bodily rights, their agency, their ability to live, their ability to thrive, all that can be compromised. And then hopefully summits like this are able to give you the tools to navigate those barriers that you face.
All right, so what more are we looking at when we're talking about this summit? Because, well, there are very many people who perhaps have missed out on this one. But then again, we're looking forward to have another one sometime next year and all.
So What Women Want is actually a monthly event. It's a 2-hour conversation that's focuses on a specific topic per month. So with, when you said mental health, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so we will engage in that. We are also doing something for Mother's Day. So there are different events that we do hold on a smaller scale. Definitely, this summit will be held again next year. Janet and I have a surprise for you.
Oh, we're looking forward to that. Yes, we do. Oh, you have set a surprise early at this stage.
Yes, we do.
We'll come to that. Well, I mean, we're looking forward to that, because then again, someone setting a surprise that is going to be dished out sometime next year at an early stage like now is a surprise worth waiting for. Inua Dada, briefly, I mean, what's it all about, even as we come to a wrap?
It started, it was when I was on television. It was a story about period poverty. It was the first time we ever really saw period poverty on primetime news. It was the first time that, a media house was, I think, bold enough to say, we're going to tell this story, because at the time it was affecting close to 3 million girls who were out of school because they didn't have access to pads. And like many of my peers, I was triggered. Because all of us, you're thinking, us, we just go and pick pads and go home. And there's somebody using chicken feathers and goat hide, and because that's what the story showed. And it's that bad. So, long story short, it kind of, the way Pinky is saying what women want was in her heart and her calling. It was the same that was put in my spirit, that there's more we can do. What I realized was platforming the issue on the news made it such a big conversation. So it shed light on it in a really powerful way. And so I felt inspired to keep platforming it. And that's how Inua Dada came, was to keep doing media and advocacy, but also now do intervention. Talk to girls about what they're dealing with, try and put pads in the hand of a girl. As we've evolved, we've realized that there's so many intersectional issues like gender-based violence, economic empowerment. So that's why on one hand, we're training women how to make sanitary towels. On the other hand, we're working with youth and young people to kind of equip them with the tools to advocate, whether it's in high school or uni. Right. And on the other hand, we're doing things like, podcasts on period health. So that's what Inua Dada is. It really is to demystify and break down the stigma and taboo, to collaborate and to integrate it with other social issues, all in the name of making sure that we can stop looking at the word period and shrinking back.
I know.
Period. I mean, 10 years, a few years in, and you can tell there's a big difference.
There's a huge difference.
I also want to say, like what Janet's saying about, when something has been put in your spirit, it's to really lean into that. Sometimes it's a bit scary, and sometimes you're like, no, but how will I, and how can I, and how? It's amazing how when you lean into it and you trust it, things just seem to open up. And I feel that a lot of us are not doing that, and we have the potential. We each have a calling, and it is our duty to listen to it, because we each are here to change the world.
I love that Pinky's saying that, and even to add on that is, lean into it, do it afraid, and then use what you have.
Yeah.
Start with what's in your hands. Right. What do you have around you? Is it your phone? Is it your networks? Is it your ability to do something unique? Everyone has something in their hands. When you're sitting in your bedroom, on your bed, and thinking, this thing that is not leaving my spirit, what am I going to do with it? You can see the big picture, but start with what you have, where you are.
You can't put the whole burger in your mouth. Take a bite.
Take a bite. I like that. And so
how many things have you started, perhaps, and felt like, this one was dead on arrival? And just how much did that crush you before we close? Maybe one random one?
I used to do an event called FAB, Fashion and Beauty. It was a pop-up, an expo. It just never took off. I was always in a loss. But because, maybe now it's the revelation that we're more than fashion and beauty.
I think mine was
a bigger calling.
I love that. And also maybe now is when it can make a comeback. It can make sense now. Yeah. Mine was close. It was a fashion line.
No way.
Yeah, it was called the Janet Collection.
No.
So it's true. I know the Janet Collection. I'm wearing the Janet. And it was when I just started being a news anchor, and there was a lot of people saying like, where do you get your dresses? I'm like, I'm gonna start a fashion line. Hey, let me tell you. We were like, you know what, Wachatuika, it's okay. It wasn't its time, but who knows? Who knows?
Then, what you see here is definitely a journey of failures and successes. But
100%.
what it is just doing things.
And failing forward.
Yeah.
Failing forward. That's the word. So do we come out of this space knowing what women want? We can never get to know that. Janet says that pace, yes.
We've heard all sorts of peace. I don't know what, crocheting. I don't know. What else is it?
For what?
What else do we want?
Oh, what else do we want?
I'll tell you what it is.
Yeah.
I have the answer.
Okay.
After many years of research, we want a dress with pockets.
That is so I like the way all of us were like, what is it, Pinky? It's a dress with pockets.
Right.
She's like, yeah. By the way,
Get
put pockets in
excited,
put pockets in anything,
Yeah,
and
this one,
we'll be good.
That is a dress with pockets?
Yeah.
That's a jumpsuit.
Yeah, with pockets.
But I also feel like, you know,
Trying to
Pinky.
look better.
No, Pinky's saying that.
That's on the lighter side. Right?
Yeah, but it feels like it's just a metaphor for many things. Yes, on the one hand, it's literally a dress with.
Wow. Yes.
No, I know. No, no, it is.
You need a Janet in your life.
Before we started this show, we were all saying that we're going to be done in 20 minutes. But then I just realized this is a journalist in the house. We can talk and talk and talk. Can we?
To say whatever Janet has just said, it is a metaphor.
Yeah.
Because what do pockets do in your life? Support you.
Yeah, I love that. We need that. And yeah, I think just to add on to what Pinky said about it being a journey, we are products of just leaning in, not being afraid, failing, starting again.
Right.
So people should never be afraid.
Also being vulnerable.
Yeah. Oh
Being
my gosh,
open
that's
and honest.
that season. But for people watching, it's like, yeah, I think don't always look at it like, oh my God, it's Janet and Pinky. We just kept going, and I think we are in a generation or space or time in our life when it's a bit of a strange time, right? Because there's all this opportunity, but there's also pushback on things like women's agency. So it's about finding your space to navigate doing the things you love, but also standing firm in who you are and what you believe in, and just not being afraid. Because in as much as it can be strange with all that's going on, there's also spaces like the What Women Want Summit where you can come as your full self and leave as kind of like a better, fuller, better version of yourself. Yeah.
And one more thing that I picked out of the summit is the importance of just allowing the elevator to go back down, come up with somebody else. This is an example.
Pinky speaks high. No, I mean vice versa. She's incredible.
Let me tell you. Get yourself a Janet. This one is mine. This is mine.
Oh, yeah?
Get yourself
Find your Janet.
We have J's that we're about to find. I think I'm going to get myself a Janet.
Find your Janet. You need somebody who has done something. She's traveled the journey. She still continues to, but she's not forgetting where she's come from, and she's really lifting other women up. It's not just me. She's lifting many other women.
Congratulations, ladies. We're all looking up to you people. So I think keep at it.
Thanks, Linda.
All right.
Voice.
Look at who. Look. I think I love your voice. You know those moments when you think you have a deep voice until you meet somebody. You meet a Janet and you're like, ah, yeah. All right. So we're so many of us here. We love your voice. Thank you so much. So speak to that girl out there who's watching, tonight, and to that one person who's thinking, should I go to the summit tomorrow? Should I not? Is it too late? Have I missed out on so much? As we close.
Definitely, you haven't missed out on anything. Tomorrow's still a new day. You have lots of sessions you can be a part of. It's only 1,000 shillings if you want to come in for the day. You get a fashion show inclusive, and you meet Janet. Hello. Hello.
You're celebrating.
Yeah.
Your favorite celebrity.
And there will be so many other people as well that you can rub shoulders with. You will not walk away as the same person that you walked in as. And you're doing this for yourself, for sure.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like Pinky has said it all. I'm just very big on you can't pour from an empty cup. And summits like this allow you to pour into yourself in order to be able to pour into others.
And other projects.
And other projects, yeah. Because I think as women, we're very good at pouring and pouring and pouring to everyone, whether it's family, friends, workmates. It's kind of how society, I think, is designed. And you can still do all those things. It's still so beautiful to pour into your family, to your friendships, to your work. But fill your cup. And summits like this are supposed to help you fill your cup so that you can pour from a better place. So I'd say, come and fill your cup. It's a space where you can fill your cup, meet people, whether it's well-known. First of all, Pinky's lineup. Hey, I was like, you've just mobilized the Avengers in Kenya. Okay. So her lineup is great. The topics are really great. And, you know, remember, the dream just starts with taking the first step and listening and having a conversation and talking about it and then talking about it more. And before you know it, you've turned that into living what you always wanted to live. So, yeah.
Beautiful. Ladies, it is time for you to take your power back. You can always lose it somewhere along the way, but the important thing is that you can have it back. Fill your cup, as they would say. Light as many candles as you can so that the world would shine brighter. Pinky Gelani, thank you so much for this great initiative, and above everything, thank you so much as well for speaking to TV47's Her Say. It was great and honor to have you. See you, Pinky Media, as well as the brain behind the summit that we are at or in as we speak, the biggest perhaps when it comes to, you know, the matters of women in the country. And who knows, soon and soon it will be beyond. As well as Janet Bugwa, author, advocate, founder of Inua Dada Foundation. Asanteni sana. Si wambie watu asante.
Asante sana.
You can speak some good Swahili. At least I've heard her speak some good Swahili.
I think he used to speak Swahili on radio, guys. Kindly. No, you're like Lucinda. Thank you.
My name is Juanita Mramba. I am the head of sustainability for Kenya Brewers Limited. As Kenya Brewers Limited, we're very excited to be part of the 2024 What Women Want Summit. And we really pride ourselves that over and above, you know, producing what we call irresistible beverages, there's much more that we are doing in terms of, you know, empowering women to actually be able to realize their goals and their dreams.
What women want.
Yes.
That is what we're talking about.
Yes.
But just how unique is this statement to an individual?
How would I?
How unique is it to an individual?
How unique? Oh,
what
okay.
women want.
Look, it's a very powerful statement, I must say, Linda. Look, it's really about clarity. It's really about, you know, the future. It's about now. It's really about decisions. And that's what I said earlier, that we've got so much power, we've got so much strength, we've got so much progress. And what is it that we really want? And I know some people are saying we want everything as women, but I want to believe that there's prioritization that needs to happen. And there's many things that are going to happen here in the next 3 days. So, and somebody talked about networking. You know, look at the people that you want to speak to. What is it that you want to achieve? So I'd really urge women who are coming into this summit to really be very clear. Come with your to-do list. Come with what it is that you want to achieve. I can tell you, I've seen the program, and there is amazing stuff that is going to be happening here, you know, in the next 3 days. And I can say, let's just seize the moment and really make the very best out of it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Celeste Ngashohe. I'm an actress, I'm a mentor, and also I use my influence and my voice to speak out of things that I think are very important, like GPV, femicide, you know, fighting against that. And I'm here at What Women Want 2.0, that is 2024, and I'm so excited. I've learned so much, and I'm so glad that there were so many very phenomenal women here, and I've learned so much. I've learned about myself, loving me, helping each other, helping other women as I'm up there, and also relying on me and knowing that I'm my own responsibility, happiness, growth, yes, and I'm glad that I have networking with other women here. So thank you so much. What Women Want. Thank you for having this summit.
Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie Nganga. I'm a digital content creator, the host of the SNS, and an event host and moderator. My experience at the What Women Want Summit has been unreal. To sit at table and converse with women of different and diverse backgrounds and personalities and experience, my God, there is so much that I've been able to take away from this, and I can't wait to continue to experience the summit for the next couple of days. And in case you're not here, I don't know where you are. Thank you.
Well, it's the What Women Want Summit. What do you want? That's what we had on Her Say. Thank you so much for always keeping it TV47. My name is Linda Alela. To the entire team, asanteni sana. Do have yourself a lovely night ahead. Bye-bye.